Hey there, YouTube. This is Christy Lambie-Poo. I think this is week 19 of the ketogenic diet, and week 6. Yeah, week 6 of the leptin reset under the Epi-Paleo prescription from Dr. Jack Kruse's website. I'll go ahead and give you the numbers. And my fasting blood glucose was 93. My ketones are 2.2. My weight is 225.6. And that's a release of 3 pounds for the week. Yay! And total release for 19 weeks of keto is 35.8 pounds. And the weekly average for that 19 weeks is 1.88 pounds. The hips, waist, and bust. My hips are 54.5, waist is 48, and bust is 51. So I lost a ½ inch in the hips and bust, and nothing in the waist. The total release for 6 weeks of the leptin reset is 12.2 pounds. The average for that is 2.03 pounds per week over those 6 weeks. So I think I mentioned last week that I lost, it was 1.8, and I thought, and I found out subsequently that the protein in the morning that I was picking, I neglected to think about the amount of protein that was in the oysters that I added in, and I think that affected those that week and the week before. So I dropped down to 2 cans of the salmon in the morning with the can of oysters. So that's about 62 grams of protein for breakfast, and then just the same in the afternoon. So for breakfast I would have those 2 items plus my fatty coffee with a couple tablespoons of coconut oil in it and some cinnamon and nutmeg. And then the afternoon I would get my sauerkraut, Bubby sauerkraut, a little sauerkraut juice, throw down some of that, a head of romaine lettuce with the coconut oil, or excuse me, MCT oil, so it won't gel up, ACV and mustard, and a little salt and pepper. Oh, and I also am putting turmeric on my my canned salmon in the morning, and then the additional can of salmon in the evening. What else? And then another fatty coffee. And in between, sometimes I will also get some bone broth in to the evening meal, and I will also say about noontime, take a bunch of turmeric and ginger and of course black pepper. I'm also adding that. It's turmeric and black pepper together because that increases it. I think it's 10 times as powerful bioavailability when you do that. So I've been doing that for the last several weeks. Been doing a turmeric tea, so I'll brew it up, and I'll brew up some dandelion tea bag tea, and then I'll take this brew of the spices. I'll boil that for about 15 minutes, and then I'll add that to the dandelion tea and drink that. That's pretty much it, food-wise. And then, and I don't want you folks out there in low-carb land particularly to get scared that, you know, that getting into this, oh, I got to do this cold therapy. I think it's, for me, it's crucial because I'm trying to heal myself, and I think if you'll read on jackkruse.com his blogs about cold thermogenesis, you'll get to see why I'm doing it, and then you may or may you may want to do it. I think it's pretty important. But for all you guys out there in paleo and low carb land, keep doing what you're doing. I wanted to shout out to you guys. The great videos and great updates and very inspiring. what you're doing. So for those of you who don't want to talk about cold thermogenesis, that's cool. But I wanted to just show you real quick what I've been doing. What was it, last Friday I went to Crystal River and I got in about waist deep, and I think the outside temperature, the air temperature, was about 42 degrees, and I think the water, probably this time of year, I forgot to bring the thermometer with me, so I think it was probably low 60s. So I got in there waist deep, got a little grounding in there at the same time, and so then I started taking the next step, and this is what I wanted to show you. I got my cold tub ready, and I've done, I think this is what, the second session in it. Well, the first session I just did it impromptu, and this is the third, because the first one my water temperature was about 60, 68, 69, somewhere there. It was just under 70. So I got my skin temperature down to I think to 71 under the compression garments, and I think it was a little closer to 69 on the exposed parts. And then the next day I did the water temp was 63, and I managed to get, you know, as much ice out of the ice maker as I could, and got to 63. But today I went and got 2 bags of ice, 2 10-pound bags of ice, and got the temperature to about 57. And so after, yesterday I stayed in for an hour at you know, in the 63 degrees. Today I only lasted a half hour in the 57 degree water, but I did get my skin temp down to 60. Was it 59 on the exposed areas, and 61 on the exposed area, and it was 64 underneath my compression shirt. So I'm pretty wimpy, but I'm moving along. But I'm finding out that what I've been hearing from other people about, and I know Dr. Kruse said this, that the warmer cold water is more uncomfortable, and I'm understanding why other people are also saying that it's kind of intolerable to do like 60 degree water, but if you get it down to 55 or below, then you numb out enough to where it's actually more tolerable than that water. So enough babbling about that, but I wanted to show you my little setup, and I can't switch cameras midstream here with this iPhone, so I'm just going to turn it and hope we get a picture. I've got my igloo cooler. I'm going to put I bought a immersion copper coil immersion chiller, and I'm going to run my tap water, which is 70 degrees, through that. I'm going to pack it in this cooler, and then have that water come out into the my little cool tub here. And you can see it's got a little outlet there, so I can drain it every few days. And eventually what I want to try to do is take the wort chiller and then hook up the pump that water out of the tub through the chiller and then back into the tub, and see if I can do better, because it'll make it a lot more economical. I know ice is always, trying to get things cold enough is an issue. And here's my little friend that's been keeping my water temperature for me. He's a baby Beth ducky meter. So Rubber Ducky's been my friend. And also what is the temperature now? 58.9. Yep. So it helps that the air was pretty cool this morning. The air was about 60 degrees. So but I really didn't have a problem with getting out with the compression gear on, because it wasn't as bad. I kind of, at the end, I lasted a little bit longer by getting back up to where it was waist deep, but hopefully I'll get better at that. But anyway, really great news, and just want to emphasize that really great results from doing loads of seafood. I did have some pork last, I think it was like last Wednesday that I did I did some lean pork loin, but this time I bought me a Boston butt that I'm going to cook that up for tomorrow morning. And I underestimated the pork last week as far as the amount of protein. So I'll do a little bit better on that, but as far as looking up the macros for that. But, oh, get back to it. Real important 3 things. For really great results and really improving your health on this is because it has to do with electrons. Again, it's not macros per se, but it's the amount of electrons that are available in those macros. So fat at 147, 1 mole of fat gives you 147 or so ATP. I mean, it's 4 times as much as what you're getting out of carb ATP. So the more, that's why they want you to have, high fat macros, moderate protein, and low carb. And the DHA is critical. So again, the high fat, the DHA, iodine, and good water that's non-fluoridated, like reverse osmosis or spring water. So again, that 3-legged stool is the the circadian biology of eating at the right time, eating in daylight, keeping the blue light out of your eyes at night. So there's your and you get the photoelectric effect. Magnetism, which I'm trying to, that's part of what the cold thermogenesis is about, is the magnetism, making my blood magnetic enough to deliver the nutrients to my brain. And we got water. Water as a conductor. So I've babbled on for 12 minutes, so I do apologize for that. But I did want to show you I was really excited about. It's not easy and it's not comfortable, but it's worth it. And every time I think when I get in there, oh, I don't know if I can do this, I feel compelled to do it. I keep pushing through. I'm really motivated by this. And anyway, I hope you all are having really great weeks. And we'll talk to y'all next week. Thanks.